We have an amazing episode for you today, but first I want to tell you about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Whether it's recording new podcast episodes, uploading existing episodes, editing, or more, Anchor gives you everything you need in one place to create your podcast from your computer or your phone and make it sound amazing. And the best part, it's free. Yes, Anchor is completely free. Anchor makes it easy to make money with a podcast without a minimum listenership, and will even distribute your podcast so it can be heard anywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. The podcast process has been so easy because of Anchor, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience right off the bat. I'm recommending Anchor to all of my listeners who are wanting to start a podcast. Be sure to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started building your own podcast today. My name is Kristen Kubik, and you're listening to As Told Unfiltered, the podcast that dives deep into what it's really like running a business. The raw, the real, and the completely unfiltered. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the 12 Days of Podmas. Is this the part where I sing? No. Just kidding. I won't do that to you guys. I swear. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to As Told Unfiltered. My name is Kristen Kubik, and I'm your host, but I'm especially excited to host As Told Unfiltered's 12 Days of Podmas. Each day, I'm going to give you some nuggets of golden information for entrepreneurship, mindset, and all-around business. Topic number 1. You guessed it, your face. So this was actually inspired by my therapist, who has actually listened to the show, so hey. But she told me once that your face is an asset to your business, so you should be using it. And whoo lordy, let me just tell you how much of a realization that was. I talk a lot about the importance of video, especially nowadays. Everything is all about video. Think about it. Instagram is an all-visual platform. There's IGTV, Reels, Stories, Lives. There's TikTok. There's Facebook Lives. There's story pins on Pinterest, which are really cool, by the way, if you haven't seen them. Even Etsy has incorporated video into their listings now. Video has taken us by storm. It is the way to connect with your audience. It's the way to build that know, like, and trust factor that everyone preaches all the time about. So today, I'm giving you my favorite tips and tricks for going live or just getting on video. These tips not only have helped me get more comfortable on video, but they've also helped countless clients and even people I just talked to in groups I'm in. So let's just dive in. Number 1, create a plan. You want to at least have a rough outline of what you're going to talk about. When you have some sort of plan, especially if you're nervous, you won't blab or go off topic. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but sometimes you just need that way to pull yourself back on track. And I can be the worst at going off on tangents. So at least writing a small outline or points of notes on a scrap paper is one of the best ways I've found to just keep my life together, really. And I do it not only for like trainings or Facebook Lives or even if I'm just talking on Instagram, but I do it for podcasts all the time. I may not necessarily do like a script, a full-on script, but I will do at least bullet points or notes or an outline or something like that. Number 2, create an engaging title. People need an incentive to watch, much less interact. And nobody likes talking to a brick wall, am I right? So when you create an eye-catching title, you're drawing the viewer in to click on your video and listen, even interact. And here's a hint. People love lists. Blank reasons why, so many reasons why, 10 reasons why, 3 reasons why, whatever. is one of the best titles known to man, I swear to God. It is one of the easiest ways to get people to not only join you, but to listen to the whole thing because they want to know what each one is. Now, I could have easily titled this episode, blank reasons why you should be going on video. Or I could have titled it blank tips for going live on Facebook. But I didn't. And there's a reason why. However, in the graphics, I put it in the subtitle because it's still that eye-catching. It's still going to draw people in. And that's what you want. You want people to see that and know that that's what you're talking about, and that's going to draw them in. It's going to make them click on it, and then that's going to make them engage. And honestly, if you're listening to this right now, you did exactly what you're wanting other people to do. So number 3, this is going to sound crazy. Stick with me here. So number 3, talk to yourself in the mirror. And no, I'm not kidding. Try it. Just do it. Because the reason is, you want to get really familiar with yourself. Because the fact of the matter is, when you see yourself on video, we all hate it. The first, few hundred times probably. Because we all notice something different, something weird. You want to get familiar with your face, your eyes, your mouth, how your jaw moves, how your eyebrows move, how they look, how many times you touch your hair. Ladies, I'm talking to you especially. We are so bad at fidgeting and touching our hair. Get really comfortable looking at yourself, watching yourself, figuring out, do you talk with your hands? How big is your hand movement when you do talk with your hands? I tend to, and I'm doing it right this second, I tend to tap the table whenever I'm talking. So, my hands are literally just sitting here tapping the table. That's obnoxious, right? But whenever I'm on video, I don't do it as much because I know other people are going to see it. So, another tip I'm going to give you inside this one, hold something while you're going live. And do it while you're talking to yourself in the mirror because it's going to keep these hand movements down. It's going to keep you from fidgeting. It's going to keep you from touching your hair, your face, your shirt. It's going to keep you from doing all of these things if you have something in your hands to anchor them down. And if you're comfortable with, talking with your hands and moving and all of this stuff, that's great. Because that means you're already doing better than so many of us are. And I'm actually so jealous because I tend to still actually get really nervous when I go live. So I tend to fidget a lot within that first, 3 to 5 minutes. But whenever you actually find that comfort level, it really dies down. And when you hold something, especially while you start talking to yourself in the mirror and getting familiar with how you move, it really comes and creates, an anchor, a grounding technique. It really, really helps you become more comfortable with yourself. So talk to yourself in the mirror. Do really get familiar with yourself. Really, figure out all of the things outright that drive you nuts about yourself. And then you can work on them. So it'll help you feel more comfortable. Number 4. Give your audience a warning before you go live. Now, I do no more than an hour and no less than 10 minutes. It gets people excited. It creates some hype. It gets you in the algorithm is an even better reason. So when people start seeing your post, then they're going to see your live. They can react to your post. They can kind of throw you some love. You can do something like asking who wants to be tagged when you go live, or, drop a GIF if you're excited for today's live on blank, blank, blank. And that goes back to creating the engaging title. So do something like that. Give the audience a warning, but make it fun. Make it a fun warning. Don't just, drop a going live at blank, blank for something. Make it fun, make it engaging, give them a reason to engage. This is all about getting them interactive. Number 5, when you go live, tell people to say hi when they jump on, and then say hi back. Okay, so we've gotten ready to go live. We've given the warning. So let's do it. Just press play. Now, the goal here is not to talk to a brick wall, right? If you want to talk to a brick wall, start a podcast. It's really fun. I like talking to an empty room sometimes. So I love my podcast. If I want to go live, that's when I'll talk to other people. I also have roommates for that. I don't know. It's all different. So tell people to say hi if you want to talk to them. Often they really will. But then also say hi back. People love to feel important. So make them feel important. It makes them feel special. And I mean, come on, who doesn't love a shout out? It also starts that conversation, which again leaves that door open and less talking to brick walls. That's when you also really start to feel comfortable because you know someone's there. You know someone's there to talk to. You know they're gonna be listening. It's like you're actually having an actual conversation with someone. Even though you're the one doing the talking, they're typing back. It still almost feels like an actual conversation. And that's what you want because it's going to make you feel a little more comfortable. It's going to make them feel excited to watch you. And these are the things that you're wanting. So, number 6, sell at the beginning of your live. Most people are not going to make it past the first 5 minutes of your live. So, here's a little side tip. Do not pay attention to the number of people that are on your live because most of those people that hop off are going to come back and watch the replay. Be sure to sell at the beginning of your live so those people are going to know what you're talking about off the bat. Are you actually selling something? Are you telling them about a freebie, a challenge? Whatever it is, let them know at the beginning. And then number 7, give your viewers a call to action. So sell at the end of your live. Give them a call to action. Where should they be going? What should they be doing? Let them know. And then number 8, thank your viewers for watching. And this seems so simple, but we often forget to do it because especially if we're nervous, we tend to just go, oh, thank God, I'm done. Okay, bye. But that's not really what we want to do. Because then we feel kind of bad afterward that, all these people watched us and then we just didn't say anything. So even if you don't think you have any viewers, you do, I promise. Someone is always watching. Sometimes people just lurk. They don't necessarily click on the video, so you don't see them on the viewer account, which again, don't pay attention to the viewer account. I tend to keep the videos open on my profile, but I don't actually click on them. And I know that's horrible, but I tend to forget and I'll just kind of click on it and then just set my phone down. So I'm really horrible about that. And to anyone that, I constantly watch their lives, I'm so sorry. But I mean, it's one of those things that someone's always watching and people do actually want to interact. They may just, do like what I do and forget. So I'm so sorry, but be sure to, thank them. Sometimes people are lurking. That's okay. Thank them anyway. We love to feel special. It's in our nature. And whenever, you're making people feel special, they're going to come back to you. Whenever you're doing all these things, they're going to come back to you because you're putting on, a good show. You're putting on a good live. They're going to feel so good about what you're saying, especially your delivery, especially if you're just being yourself, and especially if the information's good. You could get on there and tell them, I don't know, I did a live one time just telling everyone about a vendor event I did back when I did a bunch of product vendor events. And I think it's still one of the most watched things I did because I just told a funny story. I told everyone all about the lady next to me and how I found this really cute pink and blue and purple crocheted unicorn that matched a tattoo I have, and people loved it. It was crazy. And I didn't do anything. I just told a story. I didn't even have anything to do. And then at the end, I just kind of threw a go join my group. And then, people joined my group. It's stuff like that. It's very minimal. It's very, small. But at the same time, it's what gets people engaged. It's what draws people in. And then once you do that, then, you've got them hooked. And that's all you need. And I still use all of these tips and tricks to go live, to get on video, or even do this podcast, honestly. And it just makes it so much easier to just keep my life together. So I want you to let me know if you have any tips and tricks to make it easier for you to go live or just get on video. And I want you to share them with me on Instagram at Kristen Unfiltered. And check out today's show notes on the blog, kristenkubick.com/AsToldUnfiltered. And thank you for listening to another episode of As Told Unfiltered. See you tomorrow for another episode of the 12 Days of Podmas. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I just wanted to let you know that all of the listeners for As Told Unfiltered get a special offer, especially if you listen to the end, because you're amazing. $100 off my signature digital course, Automation Queen to Sales Machine, that's going to help you streamline and automate your business so that you can spend less time making more sales. Use code Unfiltered. Go to kristenkubick.com/AsToldUnfiltered for more information. See ya!